The Jesse Blake Sports Report with Jesse Blake.
Will Connor McDavid be suspended? Because there was a lot of chaos happening Saturday night in Vancouver as the Canucks took on the Oilers. It's 3-2 with about 20 seconds left. Now the puck is in the O zone for the Edmonton Oilers, and it is also 6-on-5 because the Oilers pulled their goaltender. In the middle of the zone, Connor McDavid and Conor Garland, the battle of the Connors, are holding each other. They're grabbing, and it turns into Conor Garland just holding McDavid down on the ice. And now it took place for about 14 seconds. I counted it with the clock and the video and the replay and everything that happened. About 14 seconds, Conor Garland is pinning McDavid down to the ice. And eventually they wrestle to their feet. And still, he's grabbing two hands onto McDavid, not allowing him to go anywhere. And this is illegal. And Connor McDavid, out of frustration, two-hand cross-checks Conor Garland in the face after they get untangled. And there's a lot of context that we need to go through with this cross-check to the face from McDavid onto Conor Garland, because we'll start with what happened in Vancouver. This was not the only cross-check to the face in this incident, because behind this cross-check and behind the entire scrum was Tyler Myers and Evan Bouchard battling. And Tyler Myers, at the same time McDavid cross-checks Garland, cross-checks Evan Bouchard in the face just as viciously, and he gets kicked out of the game. McDavid got kicked out of the game as well after the refs convened, and they talked to the situation room and all that fun stuff, and they kicked out both McDavid and Myers, and then they gave everybody on the ice at the time a 2-minute penalty, so then they could just get everybody back to the dressing rooms. They get back a new set of 10 people for the last 2.3 seconds. They drop the puck. The game is over. And then the other context with this cross-check to the face is that McDavid is 3 days removed. This happened on Wednesday. He elbowed Marcus Johansson in the face, and Johansson was left bloody. That is Marcus Johansson of the Minnesota Wild. McDavid's flying by him, and it appears that he intentionally gets an elbow up. He nicks Johansson in the face. Johansson is bloody. There is no supplemental discipline for McDavid for that elbow to the face. So now we sit here with this play and we say, you just elbowed a guy in the face. Now you're cross-checking someone in the face. A suspension, I think, is definitely warranted. I think this is a one-game suspension because the Department of Player Safety, whether you think they should look at this part of the issue or they shouldn't, they do take into consideration how hurt the other person is when you commit an infraction. And in this instance, Conor Garland, who is an absolute tough guy in this situation, popped right back up and was very unaffected. He did not milk this incident. He didn't stay down and act like he had just died or anything. He got right back up and he started tussling again with McDavid and all the other Oilers who were coming at him. So I think just for that reason, it's one game, but the context of what happened on the ice as well, we should talk about it here, because if the referees on the ice are doing their job, Connor McDavid doesn't get frustrated and cross-check someone in the face. What Conor Garland was doing for 14 seconds is illegal. You can't hold another human being down on the ice and say, you're not going anywhere. I'm just going to pin you down. You can't do that. That's whatever you want to call it, roughing or holding. Holding is a penalty. Call a penalty there. Blow the whistle. Make it 6-on-4 for the Edmonton Oilers. And then McDavid and Tyler Myers don't have to cross-check people in the face. So if the referees do their jobs, I just feel like that should be acknowledged, that the referees in this whole thing did a very poor job, because if they blow the play dead or if they have their hand up, they're calling a penalty, McDavid then doesn't stand up and cross-check somebody in the face. But he did do that out of frustration, which is, no, you can't do that, McDavid. You don't get away with it this time. I think you deserve one game. I'd be okay with 2 games to match what Austin did to Dahlin, which on the surface was probably the exact same, but it looked a little more vicious in real time because of how he connected with Dahlin and how McDavid connected with Garland, but Garland popped back up. but both of them are first-time offenders. McDavid's never been suspended before, and Austin was never suspended. So I would be okay with 2. 1 is probably, I think, where I think the situation room is gonna land. 3, I think, would be too much. 1 or 2 game suspension here for Connor McDavid is what I think is going to happen. What do you think is going to happen? Let me know in the YouTube comments or on Twitter or wherever you interact with the show. On Discord, we have an SDPN Discord. And if you like this video, hit like. If you really liked it, hit subscribe. Thank you for being here. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be watching or listening right now, and I appreciate you for that. Good night from Toronto.
That is how it's done.
The Jesse Blake Sports Report with Jesse Blake.
Jesse Blake, the guy that likes to hear his name twice in one sentence. Sure, I know him. No, he doesn't have an ego.